Hey Charles, how's it going today, Charles Traynor?
Really fabulous, Lee Gersman. Well, glad to be back on the show. And this was my pick.
Yeah,
Um, I've been kind of down on the picks lately. Machiavelli, nobody seemed to give a shit about that. That's not a big deal. But listen, now's what we're doing.
yeah, we're doing um the live album by Foghat, just called Foghat Live. They later had
Fucking, yeah.
they later
Go
had
ahead.
like like either a reissue or a continuation, but this is the original that came out around the mid to late mid 70s.
Yep, yep. This was Foghat on Fire. I don't want to give away too much there, but it kind of were here. It was recorded outside of Rochester, New York.
Hmm.
I'm assuming for those folks that actually it is on your streaming services, folks. This album, small number of tracks. I would hope the concert was longer than this if I was there. Who knows? Maybe they were opening for somebody. I don't know. But kind of a small number of tracks. But we'll see what it gets. I mean, I think the '70s has the best live albums ever, and we'll see if this
Yeah.
one kind of where it fits. Is it one of the better ones? Is it mediocre? Is it shit? I don't know. This is a weird story with Foghat. You don't hear a lot about Foghat. People don't really seem to remember. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's right. Now, they're one of those bands today where only the drummer is alive, I think, and it's all
Yeah.
other guys.
And maybe a few of the people who were in the band later than the original people, maybe a couple of them might still be alive, like Nick Jameson, who did some engineering for them, and later he performed with them, but he wasn't an original member. Maybe he might be alive, but if he is, I don't know if he's doing anything. But of the people who have worked with them who are still performing, I do believe that it's only the drummer.
Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, their guitarist right now was in Wild Cherry.
Oh, okay. That's kind of weird.
Right? Yeah, I don't. He's famous for play that funky music, and but now he's in Foghat. So,
I would like to hope that his style isn't the same in
yeah,
Foghat than it was in Wild Cherry.
right. But Lonesome Dave, the singer, he was in Savoy Brown for a little while.
He was in a version of them along with the other members of Foghat first when Foghat first formed, except for the other guitarist Rod Price. He wasn't in Savoy Brown, but Lonesome Dave Peverett and Tony Stevens and Roger Earl were the three guys, along with um, um, Rod Price, who formed Foghat,
Yeah.
and Roger and no I mean Dave and Tony and Roger were the ones who formed it.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I have an English acquaintance, and I'm around damn near every day. Foghat really wasn't a big deal there. I could just judge off of when I brought up Foghat to this gentleman, and he was like, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, they moved to America. They left England. And Foghat was a bigger thing in America. Like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought they would be huge over there too. But, well, I mean, huge is relevant. Because, yeah, they're one of these bands that they're still out there. They're still out there in the rib circuit with
Yeah.
Night Ranger and Slaughter and
Yeah.
those type of bands. You expect to see them at your county fair or something like that.
Yeah.
It isn't the Foghat we're listening to today. This is the original, real deal Foghat.
Yeah.
This came out, I believe, like you said, mid-70s. I think it might have been about 77.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
And,
I had been aware of them and heard them on Don Kirshner's rock concert during this time, so this was the period when I first got into them.
Right on. Well, I guess we can get into it. It's a rather
Right.
short album.
Okay.
But it's got a couple long tracks. I don't mean we'll talk long, but I mean this means there's a couple long tracks. But
Yeah.
let's get it. And I'm curious what you think of the opening track, Lee.
Okay. Fool for the City, okay. A great way to start the album. A good song, and the live version is the best way to hear it. This is cool. What do you think?
Yeah, this is how you start out a rock show. Full of fire right out the gate with the title track from the album Fool for the City. I mean, where to start? Craig McGregor. He just stepped into the bass. Who was the guy you mentioned?
That was Rod Price.
No. Rod Price is the guitarist. The other guy.
Tony
It might be
Stevens.
alive.
Tony Stevens.
Well, maybe, but the guy produced this too.
Oh, you mean
I can't remember his name.
Craig McGregor or no, Nick Jameson.
Nick Jameson, yeah, he played on the album, but
Right.
Craig McGregor stepped in here, and he's on after this. You know, all these works for a while. His bass work is excellent. Lonesome Dave howling his lungs out on lead vocals, and Rod Price is killing it on the guitar. If this song doesn't get you jumping, then you probably ain't alive, man. Killer opening track right here, dude.
Okay. What do you think of Home in My Hand?
Now, even though there isn't really a slow song on the album, this one is about as close as we get to a slower track. It seems influenced by the Stones a bit in the execution of the song. Blues rock and the slide king of rock and roll, as he was called, showing out here, Mr. Rod Price. I like the song, but to be honest, it's the one I like the least on the album. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. Oh, no, I like it. Just the least on this album. But it still rocks, to be honest with you.
All right. I put this is one of their deeper cuts, but it works well in this context. I do like the studio version too, but this live version is even better, even if by a small margin. It's worth hearing. Okay, now for I Just Want to Make Love to You. Other than the slow build-up in the introduction, which I think it's only because it's a live version and it's in context with the show, but unnecessary in my estimation, I think this is a good live version. Maybe the coda was a little longer than it needed to be, but overall, a good, enjoyable listen. What do you think?
Yeah, one of the many covers of the Willie Dixon tune, made famous by Muddy Waters. And to be honest, I'm not with Lee on this one, because this is probably my favorite version of the tune. Right here, this version on this album. The studio version is fine, but it just slams on this album. This is my favorite track on the album. This one you crank and rock out to. Slamming version of the song. I love it.
All right, what do you think of Road Fever?
Probably one of the lesser thans on the collection, but I like it a bit more than the other lesser than track, Home in My Hand, or whatever that one's called. Just some harmless blues rock here. I mean, you do have to let the audience catch their breath a little bit. They can't all be slamming, like jumping and going crazy. This one is pure meat and potatoes rock, Lee. Nothing fancy, just gets down to it. On the lesser end of the album, but it's still pretty dang good.
Okay, I put This is also good. It's a cool boogie tune. Now for Honey Hush. It was done all right, but even though it was first, there were a few draggy spots, and I prefer the studio version, which I think overall has more power. It was good to hear this, and I wouldn't skip it, but so far this is the weakest track on the album. What do you think?
So I think this is like the sleeper track in the album. Hard rock version of the Big Joe Turner song. It's as good as any Aerosmith take on old blues numbers, and just as hard. It almost gets metalish at points. I think it's probably the hardest rockin' song on the album, and I sure do like it, and I think people out there should too.
All right. What do you think of the last song, Slow Ride?
We close out with their most well-known song, and it's in all its glory here. This is the mega extended version, which is the way it should be heard. The edited down version always leaves me a little unsatisfied, but they go for it here. It's a bit sloppier than the studio version. To be expected, it's a live setting, and honestly, I still enjoy the studio version a hair bit better, but there really isn't anything wrong with this one. It slams. It's fucking Slow Ride, one of the most underrated rock songs ever committed to tape. So I still love it. I don't care. And I think this is a really damn fine 70s live album. Is it the best? No, but it's pretty fucking good.
All right. This makes the live version of Honey Hush sound perfect. I didn't really care for this, and the last part where they speeded up, I thought too little too late. This was more of a stinker, I thought. Okay, so there we go.
Oh, party pooper there, folks. But I do like the studio version of the track better. Maybe they were tired by this point.
Yeah, I like the studio one too, but it's one of the songs that I don't listen to much when I listen to Foghat.
But overall, I think as a live album, it's a pretty quick listen, actually. I mean, there are 2 long songs, Slow Ride, and I Just Want to Make Love to You. The rest of them are kind of normalish. That's why I was saying I hope that they played more. Yeah. Maybe they were opening for somebody, because I would have been kind of pissed.
Yeah, there were some bands who, if they came out with an album like this, it would be so surprising to me that even the slower tunes, or the ones I like less, would be some of their best material.
Yeah,
but what do you think?
Wings Over America is a triple album, and Kiss Alive's a double, and Kiss Alive 2 is a double. There's so many long live albums. This is a short one.
Yeah.
Kind of akin to the original version of the Who Live at Leeds. The original version was rather short too.
Yeah.
And we do know there was more to Live at Leeds.
Yeah.
But the original version was short, but it's a short listen. I think one of the more underrated rock and roll groups of all time, Foghat. I enjoy them, and I'm glad that Lee did some meat and potatoes rock with me.
Yeah, because I do think at least 3/4 of it was pretty great. So I didn't dislike it. It's just a couple of the tunes I think that they could have substituted with a couple of other songs that weren't as known but might have been played a little better, and that's what I thought.
Yeah, like this is my prog, like for those prog rock people that are just goo all over long ass Rush songs. This is my shit. So if you want to hear this and know what I'm about, listen to some Foghat live. And if you're not, then listen to some long ass prog rock and sit in your basement and cry. But I'm glad we did this on the Lee Garrison show, and thanks for having me back.
Yeah, because it's the first time that I ever heard the whole album, even though I heard a few tracks here and there before.
Golly gee.
All right, so thank you. All right. Take care, Charles and everybody. Bye-bye.